Hello YouTubers, this is the noobifier and welcome to the next video as part of the job series, Cargo. We recently got some more information about how this might play out from 3.0 and on. This is the most important job in the verse, so it's important to have a clear understanding. Let's begin. In real life, without cargo, nothing would ever get done and the economy would implode. We have transoceanic container ships, trains, trucks, vans, and delivery companies that keep our world running. Chris Roberts had set out a plan for a wide range of transportation tasks that feed a dynamic economy. The simulation has set the bar very high. Some games use an extremely simplistic means to manage cargo. This game is proposing to take that to the next level. With a combination of grabby hands, item ports, loaders and containers, manipulating cargo will be very well simulated in Star Citizen. Small cargo containers for unique items will have item ports which dictate what objects can be stored within them. Using what's known as grabby hands, the player can place and move objects at will. Using the suggestive UI, the player, for example, will be able to pick between picking up a weapon or equipping it for use. The weapon could be placed in a container and then the item would persist until it's removed. Small box containers, once filled, can be moved like any other small object, just by picking it up. Medium containers can be loaded manually, but you'll need the help of some mechanics such as a loader. This is obviously not feasible for very large crates, so in an effort to keep the gameplay light, very large containers will just have an inventory. Automatic loading of very large containers will result in them simply appearing in place. There are two basic types of transport ships, internal cargo and external cargo. Internal cargo ships have mag-lock floors sealed in a hull to secure the goods during transportation. And external cargo ships have a lattice of mounting arms on a telescopic boom. There are some ships with unique containers that rotate and others that specialize in carrying liquid. It was also hinted that external cargo ships can augment their security by equipping full-size modules with additional power plants, shields, missiles, or even turrets. To me, that sounds like a balanced nightmare, so we need to wait and see if that actually makes it into the game. Cargo missions can start in several ways. At the TDD or a TDD remote terminal, running cargo internally for your org, or an external agreement between members of two orgs. Your reputation will let others know if you can be trusted, how reliable you are, which may let you set the price how you see fit. It's important to remember that cargo gameplay works on both sides of the law. Illegal goods such as stolen property, contraband items, or drugs also need to be transported. That means smuggling and trafficking. With 3.0, we're going to see a basic commodity list broken down into 5 types: ore, gas, food, medical, and vice. Each of these in the future will be expanded into actual unique items within the categories. For example, vice could be broken down into drinks or drugs. These could be legal like beer or illegal and restricted. Technically, anywhere there's an object that needs to be moved from point A to point B, there's a mission. The terms will be negotiated and the contract will be agreed upon. Let's talk about ships. There are actually 31 ships so far in Star Citizen specifically designed to carry cargo. With the exception of some of the fighters, all ships are actually able to carry cargo. There are so many that I'll mention only series of ships rather than individual models. Not all of the models within the series are cargo ships, and if you have any questions, please ask. The starters are some of the Auroras, Mustangs, Reliant, and the Avenger series. They all share low price, moderate protection, and basic cargo. Of all of them, the Avenger Titan is known to be the best value. At a higher price point, you have the Cutlass and Freelancers. These ships offer better protection and more cargo space. The cargo is protected within the hull and a friend can join you manning the turret or simply riding shotgun. The Constellation series is a multi-purpose line of ships with large protected cargo holds. The crew have access to a substantial set of weapons, missiles, and some even have an included snub fighter. The hull series of 5 ships share 2 things in common. For their size, they can carry a lot of cargo, and that cargo is moved on the exterior of the craft. All 5 hull ships can land empty with arms retracted. The hull A and B can land with full cargo. The C, D, and E need to be unloaded or moored rather than landed. Because the hull series is purpose-built just for moving, I suggest an escort when on a run. Next, we have 2 ships that bring cargo gameplay to the next level. The Banu Merchantman or BMM and the Drake Caterpillar. These large cargo ships can be fitted with a storefront. The BMM is an alien ship which offers its crew a place to live and trade. It's known for being very well protected, very well defended, with everything the crew could need to live, negotiate, and trade. The Drake Caterpillar is a multi-module cargo ship. The crew can configure its sections to suit the needs of the mission. One of the modules that was being discussed was a workshop and another was a storefront. The storefront module was said to offer an experience similar to the Cubby Blast with racks and a basic counter to assist customers. That actually hasn't been confirmed, so we need to wait and see. I'd like to mention that all of the big capital ships have a very large cargo capacity. You could use them just to run cargo, however the cost to operate could make them potentially uneconomical. When running cargo, knowing the best route may be a lot more than just calculating the shortest path. There could be issues where the shortest route crosses into dangerous space requiring more costly armed escort. It may also be better to carry the cargo on several smaller ships, being able to exploit the smaller size jump points. Having the cargo on several ships may also allow your team to split up and increase your chances that at least some of the cargo makes it in one piece. In enemy contact, when we're about to do a cargo run, the secrecy of the plan is going to be maintained by a select few to allow the least chance of interception. For example, I might tell my org mates that I need an escort of 6 vanguards for 3 hours, but not tell them where they're going until we're underway. When doing a down and back, we'll likely choose an alternate route for the return trip so that we're less vulnerable to attack. The plan will usually include a scout party like a pair of Hornet trackers. They jump in before the cargo ships, scan for threats, make a judgment call before the main body jumps in. Hopefully you're getting the idea that although running cargo may sound boring, there are all sorts of factors to consider and ways to improve your chances of success. Mitigating risk is about neutralizing others' attempts to disrupt or exploit your plan. I normally round up these videos with a couple scenarios. Scenario 1. Your org is mining very deep in a very bad part of space. It's a fairly big operation with a lot of moving parts. There are several outposts near the job site who buy ore. The ore needs to be moved soon because the Orion is reaching its capacity and it'll have to stop. Because of the risk, you decide to take 2 Hull Cs instead of 1 Hull D. Each Hull C will have their own compact detail of 2 vanguards and 1 terrapin. The basic plan includes switching routes and drop-off locations on call of the convoy commander who are in each terrapin. By operating like this, we're harder to ambush, difficult to anticipate, and we won't disturb the local economy, thus reducing the payout. Once full, the Hull Cs marry up with their designated escorts. The vanguards fly close escort to the Hull C, and the terrapin will jump ahead scanning the sector. The terrapins scan the sector, report all clear, the rest jump in behind, and link up. If the terrapins detect a threat, they could simply decide to change the course, or decide that the vanguards are a sufficient deterrent. Arriving at the TDD outpost, the ore is offloaded for credits and then the detail heads back. This shell game style cargo operation offers a level of protection that would be very difficult to achieve with a single large cargo ship. Scenario 2. Your org has a Hull E, but you can't afford to purchase enough cargo to justify taking it out on a cargo run. You could half collapse the midsection taking half loads, but that's a waste of the ship's capability. You notice a job being offered at the TDD to carry cargo 86 million kilometers from the Sol system to the Baker system. There's a planet being terraformed and the contract offers a very fair price, plus an advance to cover some of the overhead. You accept the contract. You're told that the cargo has an estimated value of 5.3 million UEC, so you assemble a substantial force to escort the trip. The escort includes a Polaris, 2 Retaliators, 4 Sabres, a Star G, and a Hornet tracker. The process of loading the cargo is carried out before the escorts marry up. When everyone is set, the group does a link up and the convoy is briefed on the actions on contact. This type of plan is standard operating procedure that allows the team to react with minimal planning depending on the situation. These are known as SOPs and TTPs that are refined mission after mission. The tracker is sent out first, as in the other scenarios, to scan the path. These tactics are part of the basic convoy drills. These precautions won't always be necessary if the path is within safe space. It was my intention today to highlight that very high value cargo should be protected and that gameplay can add another layer of enjoyment to planning cargo missions. I hope that you enjoyed my rundown of the cargo mechanics planned for Star Citizen. Videos like this take some time to put together, so if you got something out of it, please do me a solid and share it with a friend or org mate. Thanks for sharing your time with me. Please subscribe to stay up to date. Thanks, and I'll see you in the verse.